Salutations, beautiful nerds. And this is Just At the Seat. It feels like it's been a while, but I think it's only been like 8 days since my last Just At the Seat, or my last video in general. But I'm glad to be back. And I just saw The Visit, finally. The M. Night Shyamalan film that has had a lot of people believing that Hollywood is stupid for continuing to employ people who make mockeries of such cinema mastery. I mean, ever since Avatar: The Last Airbender. I mean, even before that, really, since The Happening. Well, it depends on what was the last straw for you, but for a lot of people, the last 4 or 5 movies of M. Night Shyamalan have been the straw that has broken the camel's back. Honestly, I was very, very disappointed in Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I hadn't seen most of the movies that he gets flack for, actually. So I came in with a kind of biased mind, but not a completely biased mind. That being said, I did enjoy the film. I think that it is probably the smartest thing he could have done with his career as it is right now. Because I don't think there's not... man, I'm very bad at speaking today. But considering his respect levels right now, I'd say him making a horror comedy is actually probably the best thing that he could have done right now. And it's very, very campy, which I really like. And it's a camp in subgenre of horror that I usually don't see, which is the mockumentary. Think Blair Witch Project. Some people call them found footage films, but that's a whole nother genre of film altogether. But to get to the point of making a video of myself talking about a movie I just saw, I'm gonna get straight into it. Like I said, it is corny, but it does use it well, and the fact that it's about 2 kids, I think enriches the story so much more. And there's not a lot of films that aren't kids movies that have kids as the main characters. So a lot of people have trouble writing for that, and I don't think that this was the case with M. Night Shyamalan, because the writing, I think, is very good for children. I think some people don't know how to write for children because, like, oh, I don't know, like, you know, how a child's mind works. But one person once told me that just imagine you're writing for an adult, just with less experience, just not the type of experience they need for certain situations necessarily. It's basically what kids are. There's a certain rationality to them as well. And as a horror film, I really enjoyed it. It wasn't so much about jump scares, even though there were a few. It was really about freaking you out and making you feel uncomfortable. Because once you were in a scene that was like a darker scene, or a scene that was supposed to creep you out, scare you, or what have you, it usually lingers for a moment. It's not usually like the whole rawr type thing, although they kind of lead into those type of things. And most of the jump scares are expected enough for any experienced horror fan to not be surprised at all when they come. That being said, I think one of the biggest things that this movie does in terms of making you feel uncomfortable is how much it grosses you out. I'm not even going to spoil some of the things they do to gross you the mess out, but I will say that there aren't very many people I know who wouldn't, at the very least, feel that certain things would be unpleasant, even if they aren't necessarily squeamish. So that could be a bad thing for you. It might be, oh man, this isn't scary, this is gross. Be warned for that. But I think in general, I would recommend it to most people, unless you have some type of huge M. Night Shyamalan bias, which I know a lot of people do. I'd say still give it a chance. A associate of mine told me it was stupid right before I went in, and when I was coming out, so I was laughing at there's a scene in the credits, and I had already seen it. And as I was walking out, I was laughing at it, and a guy was like, "Horrible movie, right?" And I was laughing while I enjoyed myself thoroughly. But I don't know. I think that because of his past work, a lot of people are just gonna expect certain things from him now. And with this movie, I am interested in what the next film he's gonna make. Honestly, if you ever do a collab, I would love for him to do a collab with Kevin Smith, because they could probably make some really interesting raunchy shit. But I will say, from a touch my heart standpoint, it really impressed me, because the reason there's a camera following the characters around the whole movie, I already told you the type of movie it is because the two kids are visiting their grandparents' house. They are strange grandparents. Their mother hasn't talked to them since she moved out when she was a teenager, under very mysterious, and there are certain things parents don't want to tell their kids. I've experienced that in my life. I'm sure you have too. It's one of those things. But their mom, their single mom, allows them to go to their grandparents' house. And the little girl is a filmmaker, or I should say young adult girl. She's probably 14. Is a filmmaker, and she wants to discover more about her grandparents. She wants to become a better filmmaker, and she wants to make something that can be a gift for her mom to feel good and have some type of closure about how her family life kind of imploded. And giving just the raw emotion I feel as a filmmaker, I couldn't help but feel really close to this movie from that perspective. It actually gives it a great background and a good emotional floor, I'd say. You're gonna care about these characters because of the strangeness, because of the problems they've been through, which makes, I think, the funny parts even so much more heartwarming. It's weird to say. It is a goofy kind of comedy, and it has a lot of those kid moments you might remember being embarrassed about and covering your eyes, especially as a nerd myself, and not the most popular kid. It was really funny to see the main male lead trying to rap all the time. And I remember when I was in middle school, there's a lot of people who were trying to do that. And I was one of the ones who didn't do it very often, but if you got me in the right happy mood, I would, and I would totally fail at it. But good thing I'm a good poet now, but I'm not a rapper. LOL. So, please leave a comment on the video. I hope I still have 17 subscribers, even though I've gone 8 days without posting a video. I'm going to try to get more of these out, and I'm going to try to do these more regularly, if you can believe it or not. I actually have some older videos that I'm going to retrospectively post very soon, hopefully tonight. This probably won't be posted till 11. So it goes, good to be back, even though I haven't been going for that long, but it feels like it. Been really busy lately. And you guys have a nerdy night, weekend, morning, whatever time it is you're watching this video. Peace.